Hello, friends. I'm Nancy Thompson with Create with Nancy, and it's time for some creative ink. It's time to get inspired. It's time to create and share all those beautiful creations with others. So come on in, say hello, and I'm only 3 minutes late today. I am so glad. I was working hard to be on time, and then I forgot to connect to YouTube. So anyways, I'm here. I was almost on time. So let's get started. Today I have this Wow Fun Fold. I'm calling it a Wow, and it's a flip flap fun fold that is really fun. I saw it from another demonstrator, Tammy White, and it actually, one of my team members shared it with us at our team meeting this past week, and I then went and hunted down the directions and I put a little spin on it myself. I changed up the directions a little bit, so I think I like it better. Anyways, so come on in, say hello. I know probably you're thinking I'm late and behind, but we're gonna get started because I got a lot to do. We are setting up for our holiday craft shop that's happening here next week, for 3 days next week. So we just got the tables in place today, so now we're anxious to start setting everything up. So come on in and say hello if you're joining me. If you're new to my channel, I welcome you. So go and subscribe to my newsletter so you can get the latest news with Stampin' Up! And myself, what specials I offer, or if I'm having classes or classes to go, which I'm going to be having a class to go soon, okay? From the project I shared on Wednesday. That is going to become a class to go. I just need a few minutes to put all the details in my next newsletter. So, hi Donna, welcome. Okay, you ready for a fun fold? I know how you love to learn new things, so I think you're going to love this. We're going to take our time, and I'll share measurements, and I don't know, maybe there should be a class at some time with a different suite of products. So maybe in the new year, in January, when I'm doing January classes, I'm going to keep this fun fold in the back of my mind and offer it then, okay? So before we get started, I also want to share, here's the November host code. So if there's some things that you love to check out, to go to my online store and grab some of the items that are on the seasonal sale. So we're going to look at a few designer papers. Okay, let me just change this here. There we go. You know, I didn't even check my camera here today. I guess I was just anxious and thought I was ready. So hi Betty, welcome. Glad you're here today. So I just wanted to quickly run through some of the designer papers that is 20% off. Such a great savings. This is the oxidized copper specialty paper. So it's got like the copper look, and I'm gonna say, what other colors? Pretty peacock. And this stuff is gorgeous. So if you have like the changing leaves die or like making leaves, this stuff is gorgeous for that. And it comes in 12 by 12, but I'm not sure how many sheets you get. And then there's also this naturally gilded paper. It's some of it, this has like a vanilla with gold background, okay, just gorgeous. This is silver and white here. And then we have copper and white, okay? These are all on sale. And the best place to find the pricing of everything is when you're in the online store. Go to shop now and click on seasonal sale, and you'll see all the sale prices. And then this, remember Nature Sweetness? This was paper that carried over from, I think it was last year's mini or annual catalog. I'm not sure which it was. But here's a look at some of it. It's got a lot of the gold accents to it, and it's just really fabulous, okay? Those are just a few of the papers. As you can see, I have used this quite a bit, and I need to use it some more, right? Hello, Phyllis. How are you today? Welcome back. Okay, and then let's just quickly, we'll look through some of the, look at all the designer papers that we have on sale. Okay, so in the seasonal sale is for the annual catalog only, so the 24 to 25 annual catalog, okay? No mini and no scrapbooking brochure as well. So here's the Mediterranean Blooms. the Thoughtful Designs paper, that kind of goes with, we'll put that aside. Here's Unbounded Beauty. I love this Full of Life. This is 12 or 6 by 6, and if you love bright, happy cards, this is perfect, okay? I love that. Here's To the Market. I love the back side of the designs. That's really cool. Still versatile, okay? And then we have Lily Pond Lane, okay? If you love ducks and water lilies, that's cute. Okay, here's the Thoughtful Journey paper right here. This is 6 by 6 here, and that's kind of like the scenery stuff, but this paper complements this here, okay? And then we have Country Lace here, so if you love that. That had like the bird house bundle that went with that. And then we have Country Woods here. And then we have Wildly Flowering here. I love this. Actually ordered more of this myself. And then Perennial Lavender here. And then these are carryovers. So Countryside Inn, Bright and Beautiful. So you might only see you have to this might only be in the online store. Perennial Lavender, you have to hunt for that. So Bright and Beautiful. This is 6 by 6. So these are kind of like more of the softer colors. Okay. And then finally, the Frames and Flowers designer paper. Remember, there's 3 different designs, and then 3 sheets of the die cuts that we used on Wednesdays. All right. So this package is only $8. Okay. All right, so that's the paper that's on sale. But in addition to all the bundles, our ink pads, our ink refills, our markers, Stampin' Blends as well. Let's see, what else? Cardstock. So even like basic white, very vanilla, even thick cardstock, all of that's on sale, okay? All right, let's get making this Wow Fun Fold. I think I'm going to kind of show it to you. So as I said, my team member showed this card at our meeting, and I fell in love with it and wanted to make it. And she cased it from Tammy White, but Tammy's goes all the way to the edge. So I played around with the measurements a little bit, and I loved having this framed look here. And then when I opened it up, it also kind of framed it as well. And it just matches up beautifully. So that's what I did. I switched it around a little bit. So I'm going to walk you through this, okay? And I forgot to grab my trimmer here. Hopefully I can walk you through it, okay? So we're first going to do some scoring and cutting, okay? Let me move a few things out of here. And hi, Joan. Welcome. Okay, I got to think here for a minute. What are our score marks, right? Okay, so I'm starting with a piece of crumb cake that is 4 1/4 by 11 inches. So half of it hot dog style, okay? And we are going to score at 5 1/2 inches, all right? So that's half of our card. And then we're also going to score at, what are we going to score at? I got to think here. Let me just check it out here. What are we going to score at? 2 3/4, okay? So 2 3/4. And there we go. Because this is what's going to create our flap here. It's going to, our mechanism for a flap. So then what we're going to do is we're going to do a cut line, okay? Up to this score line that I just did. So we're going to cut it at 3/4 of an inch. All right, so I'm going to come down here, and you can look on your guide too, because we know that score line was at 2 3/4. Okay, so let me just double check here. Yes, okay, so 2 3/4. So if you have a hard time seeing the score line, there we go. I did a perfect job. I'm going to just slide it over here to the 3/4 inch side over here, and if you're careful, that's right at 2 3/4 where I left it, and I can just go down. Okay, and that's all we have to do to create our mechanism. Okay, so we are going to take our snips and we're going to just snip off this piece and this piece. Okay, is everybody with me so far? Let me know if I'm going too fast or not. So we're going to do some burnishing. So let me grab my bone folder here. Let's burnish this, and we're going to burnish this kind of both ways, I think. Let's do that. And I got to think here for a minute. Okay. All right. So we're going to do that. Okay, so now we're ready to layer up our card, all right? So we are going to, so we have 2 pieces of designer paper and 2 mats. Okay, let me give you the dimensions for those. This is 2 3/8 by 3 7/8. This is 2.5 by 4 inches. Okay, and then we have, these are going to be our side panels, and then this is yes, let me look some more. I don't want to give you guys wrong information. So this is 4 inches by 5 1/4, and then designer paper, that's 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. Okay, that's going to be our inside layer right here, and then these were our side panels here and on the front. Now we're going to create this. All right, so these are going to be, you're going to need 2 crumb cakes. Okay, and then these are 4 inches by 2 3/4, and then we got another mat that is, let me think here. Okay, let's back up. This one is 3 inches by 4 1/4. Okay, and then this one is 2 3/4 by 4 inches, and then we're going to need a sheet of designer paper that is 2 5/8 by 3 7/8, and then a piece of white that is 2 5/8 by 3 7/8. Okay. All right. So I'll kind of keep walking through the measurements as we go. All right. So let's start with our easiest thing first, is layer this up. And hopefully I've got enough liquid glue, because I forgot to refill my little bottle, but let's see. I've got a bunch of these that are getting low, and let's hope I've got, yep, I got some glue. Well, maybe not. Come on. Yeah, they're about empty, but I like to use it all up. Okay, so here's a tip. Just tap your glue bottle on the middle of your cardstock mat so you don't get your surface all gluey. Okay, so let's frame this. So remember, the Mossy Meadow is 4 inches by 5 1/4, right? Yes. And then the designer paper is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. Okay. So let's just put this right in here. Maybe this is too, let's get a different one. Let's see if we got one that's a little fuller on my desk. Oh, here's one. Okay, this one feels really full. Here we go. We're in business here. Okay, how's everyone today? It's been a beautiful day here, actually warm. It was great to set up tables in the garage for our sale. So if you're local and can make it, I'd love to hear from you. Okay. So here's that. Now let's do our side panels here. And I forgot to mention, this is the Season of Green and Gold designer paper. You know, I'm not sure if it's in the mini or the online store. It's part of the online exclusives. I can't remember. I think it's part of the online exclusives. Okay. I know. It's hard to keep track of it all. Here we go. We're going to just layer this here. And once you've done one of these, oh, there's that other one. That's what I need that for, I think, right? Is that the size? Let me make sure. Yes. Okay. Once you've done one of these, it goes really, really quick. I mean, it is kind of like a thicker card, so we're going to have to check it with our letter thing just to make sure. It might need extra postage. Okay. Let's add some glue. I'm going to put this right here. So you guys liking this fold so far? Carol, hi, how are you doing? Oh, I'm glad you can join us for a bit. Okay, so we've got that. Now let's go to these right here. What do I want to do? We're going to stamp first, okay? So let's, and I apologize, I don't have your package in the mail yet. So here we go. We're going to use some Garden Green. And we're actually using a couple different stamp sets. We're going to use the Christmas labels, which I love. Okay, I forgot to let's see if we can get rid of some of that glare. So we're going to use the Peace on Earth, and there's a set of matching dies with this. This is great. And then we're also going to use the Peaceful Season. I love the inside words. We're going to use Wishing You All the Things That Warm Your Heart and Lift Your Spirits. So that's going to be today's, and let me see if I can zoom in just a little bit more. Maybe not quite that much, right? There we go. Okay, so let's stamp with some Garden Green here first, because it's always good to stamp in case you know, smudge it or whatever. There's two sides of the paper, right? Okay, I'm going to stamp it up kind of high. And I feel like I'm missing something. I'm missing a little strip. I don't know what happened to, oh, here we go. Perfect. All right, that came out great. And while we've got the green open, we're going to stamp our outside greeting. Let's just set that aside for a minute. And here we go. There we go. There. Okay. We are done with our stamping too today. Okay, so let's set that aside, and we have this little tiny piece of scrap that we're going to add on to the bottom here. Oh, am I too short? I am. Well, maybe we're not going to. I guess it's too short of a piece. We'll skip that. Okay, so let's adhere this onto here. Okay, I'm going to do this onto some Mossy Meadow. Try not to touch the greeting because it could still be a little wet. The Mossy Meadow was, okay, the basic white is, how much is it? 2 5/8 by 3 7/8. The Mossy Meadow is 2 3/4 by 4. And then the crumb cake is 3 inches by 4 1/4. Okay, so we're gonna just, okay, that's set aside. Let's do this. We can adhere this onto here. So I've got 6 other cards to share with you using this green and gold paper. So I used every design in a different way. Okay, so what we're going to do now is take this piece of crumb cake, okay, and we're going to just simply attach it. Am I just too little? Did I just not do that right? Let me just double check this. I wonder if I cut one side too long. 4 1/4, so what is off? That's the same size. Huh. Let me look here. Oh, I must have cut it a little differently. It should be 3/4 of an inch. I must have not been looking or something. It moved. Okay, we'll be good. So I think we're going to switch things up. Normally I take and adhere this onto here, but I cut it wrong, okay? It'll be fine. So this time, because I want to make sure I get that centered right, is we're going to just put this down first, okay? Right in the center. But I think you could do it either way. You could still do it this way. There we go. And we're going to just fold this closed. Oh, that's what I needed to do. Hang on. We need to cut off 5/8 of an inch. There's where I went down. Okay, I made a big mistake. Instead of 3/4, I should have done 5/8, okay? And we also need to cut 5/8 off from this end. We need to shorten up this tab here, all right? See, I should have made this card so you can kind of see the 1/8 of an inch on both sides, okay? So it's a little short. Okay, we can do this still. So let's add some glue here. Just on the flap, up to the fold, okay? You see that? You just want to go up to the fold. And then we are going to line it up with this bottom piece that's on the inside, okay? I had to think for a minute, boy. Okay, phew. See, because we want this side here, this part right here to be able to do the flip flap, okay? So that's why you only put it on that, and I'm crooked. We're gonna just trim this. Okay, that looks good. All right, now we can finish, yay. This is going to go on with dimensionals, but I think we're going to build our centerpiece here a little bit first. So I've already fussy cut some images from that beautiful Season of Green and Gold designer paper. Okay, I mean, I even use like this one that's flat here, so don't be afraid to use some of, you know, the edges like that. So let's kind of build here to see what's going to look good. All right, I'm going to do this, and then with our piece on earth in the middle. All right, so I want that kind of up there. Okay, so let's start building here. Start adhering some of this. Just kind of flip it in there. I don't want too much hanging over. And I think I'm going to just kind of cut that off to get rid of a little bit of bulk because it's going to be hidden anyways. Okay, well, let's see. Let's just cut that again. Add some more liquid glue here. I know, it's just gorgeous paper. I'm trying to like let it run out so I don't have a ton left over. All right, see what I did? I just kind of created a centerpiece, and let's just double check that. That looks great. And we can add some dimensionals to this. You know, I pulled some out. So let's grab some dimensionals right here. Do that. We're just going to put it in the center, and then I got a linen thread bow. Oh, I already got mini glue dots out. So let's grab a mini glue dot, and I think I'm going to put it down here in this corner. That looks good there. All right, let's trim my tails. Let's grab them. There we go. Isn't that pretty? This would be pretty on a note card, just like this. Okay, let's add a few more dimensionals, and then we are almost done. Let's do this. We'll do our envelope. And this is just going to get centered right here on the top. There we go. And then there's our flip-flap fold. Look at that. I feel like I'm off center, but it looks like it's crooked, but there we go. So really do a good job at burnishing your folds, okay, when you're doing this, but it can still kind of like sit like on, you know, a shelf and still look kind of pretty. So, but I love this flap, don't you? So easy. Who would even think? Because you really had to think as to how it created that flap there. So, okay, let's do our envelope, okay? And then I'll show you the other designs that I have. So when you're doing the envelope, if you're using liquid glue, start in the middle so you don't get a big glob along the outer edge, you know. There we go. I love this plaid design here, this gingham type look. Okay, Siri is talking to me for some reason. I'm not sure why, but goodbye. All of a sudden she just started. Isn't that funny? Okay, we'll give it a little trim here. There. Wouldn't you love to get this card in the mail? All right, we don't need that, but we need this. There we go. Oh, we're not done yet. Hang on. We're going to do some rhinestones. We're going to color some rhinestones. And I love using the dark wild wheat when I want like a gold look of rhinestones, okay? Oh, Carol, thank you. Do I have this in my newsletter? Not yet, because this will take a while to do directions for. So I think maybe in January I will offer this fun fold for a class to go. Okay, I'm going to make a note and remember that with some of the new paper, because I'm thinking about some of the new paper we got to see in the mini catalog, and we'll be able to pre-order. In fact, I'm going to write myself a note so I remember, because you know that, to use this fun fold. With new mini. Okay, so I can remember. Okay, so let's add, let's grab my Take Your Pick tool. Let's add some rhinestones on here. Let's just go like this. And I love all this bling. This card, I think we're going to do quite a bit of bling. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's put another one over here. There we go. Okay, now it's finished with the bling right there. Okay, and I'll go back and add a little strip of designer paper. I'll cut one a little bit longer, so it will fit in there and add to that. It'll finish up the inside. Okay, let's look at the other designs that I have to share with you using this designer paper. Okay, thanks, Joan. Okay, so here's, let me zoom out. Whoops, we're going in. Let's zoom out more, right? So we have this one with the bells. Okay, definitely. I love how it frames this, because otherwise Tammy's definitely went way over here, so it would come up to here. But I love how it frames that whole thing. Okay, so we've got that design. So what I did was I kind of went with using this. I did 3 of them together. I chose 3 designs, and then I kept mixing and matching out of the 3. So let's look at this one. So we have this as the background mat, you know, so there's 1, 2, 3 colors, okay? So as you can see, now this one is for the smaller piece, and then this one is for the side piece. That's kind of my thought process. And then this one is for the side panel, and then we have this beautiful background on that one. So that's kind of how I made sure I used all the paper effectively on this one. Okay, so here's the other 3 in this card. So here's the other 3 designs. This is the one we just did. So this one's got the gingham on the background, and then the gold for the side panel and the stripe there. Now this one has the stripe on the background and the gold in the center and the gingham on the side panel. So I hope this has inspired you all to give this Fun Fold a try, because it is extremely easy, you know, and you just play around with the die cuts that go with that suite, and just, you know, fussy cut, do whatever, you know. Here's some pine bows with the boughs. And then there's also the vellum paper that's in that suite as well. So I use some of those with the bells, and color up some rhinestones with that wild wheat. Grab a wild wheat set of blends so you can color and make some beautiful gold rhinestones. So, okay, so next week, I believe I will have a live on Wednesday. Okay. Now, oh, let me just share this. So here's a little bit. You can take a screenshot if you're local to me. We're for our holiday craft show. There's all kinds of stuff. There will be handcrafted cards and fabric stuff, ornaments, hand-woven baskets, and pottery. Mary Pat does a reusable line. And then we have watercolor. My friend Lois does watercolor prints and cards. And Susan does these beautiful holiday greens and wreaths. So it's just a fun couple of days of sharing our crafts with everybody, and visiting, and also some great sweet treats. So watch for pictures on our Facebook pages, because we will be sharing some as we set up. And we hope to see you. And so Wednesday, I do plan, if everything goes okay, to do a live. And then Friday, I'm going to try to do a recorded video, but because Friday's during our sale, and I don't think I can do a video that day. So, but anyway, so thank you so much for joining me today. If you have any questions or need to place an order, please visit my online store. That's what helps supports me and continuing offering all these free ideas to you. And we will see you. Have a beautiful weekend. Hopefully the weather stays great. I don't know. I haven't been too busy to look at the weather. And we will see you next Wednesday. And thank you for joining in. Bye-bye, everyone.